Good morning. I think this gavel has seen
Yeah, it needs some pegadura.
better days.
Pegadoco in there and it'll be fine.
Do we have? Are we having broken quorum?
Do we have one?
Do we have quorum?
No,
No,
we need one more.
we need one more, yes.
Oh yeah, you broke it.
It was already
No, you
broken.
broke it. I saw you. I just looked at a little snap.
No, it's this little band.
Oh, okay. I'll bring some numbers
And, no, it's a pig. Well, it's like a pig.
What's one?
What item on executive session did I sign up for?
For item 20? Yes, sir.
I'm gonna see if they say anything about it now.
You let me know.
Okay, if not,
We haven't resumed session yet because we're not at a quorum. Mm, I, that's a no.
don't worry, you're okay.
Okay. We're back to regular session. It's 8:02 p.m. At this time, I would entertain a motion to delete items what was it, 18 and 19.
So moved. And 17.
Excuse me, 17, 18, and 19.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Ms. Cruz, you have. Rene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Ralph Duran,
Yes.
and Iván Colom Villalobos. Yes.
Alrighty, we go on to item number 20. Discussion and action regarding the investigation into municipal court operations and instructions to appointed investigator regarding the same.
Jim.
As I understood the discussion from executive session, I believe the appropriate motion would be,
Can you sit on the mic?
sorry, appropriate motion would be to instruct the city manager to engage an attorney, an outside attorney, to represent the city, instruct that lawyer to initiate a lawsuit, to investigate a claim against the mayor, instruct that for the purpose of getting subpoena power, to subpoena the mayor to a deposition to answer questions within the scope of the investigation, and then to instruct that attorney to take the prior investigator's work product, complete the investigation, and return a report to city council.
And that will be my motion.
Is there a second?
We have two speakers.
All right.
Miriam Cruz. Sergio Cox.
I wanna wait to hear the discussion of this president before, reserve the right to speak last, please. If I
Is there
did-
discussion?
Is there anything anyone wants to add to the consultation or beyond what was already discussed?
We can't.
I mean,
Or what can?
you can do, how do I say this? It was a personnel matter, and then some of it was privileged because it was a consultation with your lawyers. If we're gonna discuss it, I wouldn't discuss any disclosing open session, any information you exchange with your attorneys. And I would not, and then it's a personnel matter, I don't think you can.
Yeah, okay.
Unless that person demands that it be done in open session, you're required to do it in closed session.
Okay. Then I will just.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. I understand the need and the idea behind executive session, but just generally, I'd ask for a little bit more transparency when possible. I understand what the attorney is saying, but that's the only thing that I would say. in regards to these matters is that if and when it's possible, for more information to be given to the constituents that are spending our money in
I think
these
that
things.
if one
Thanks.
thing, thank you, ma'am. I think that if we can, Jim, just to clarify the reason why we're going through this, I think that's,
Yeah, I think that's fair. Without disclosing my advice, my understanding of the city council's rationale is largely one of, how do I say this? Not that it's fiscal, I think it's more prudential. The city council has investigative authority. The city charter says you can issue subpoenas. To my knowledge, we've never issued a subpoena. But the charter says what the charter says, and the state law and the state constitution sort of recognizes the sacred nature of the city charter. So I think you do have a legitimate subpoena power. Rather than, so my point is, I think you could say, we're gonna do the first one. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna write a subpoena.
which has to be done by ordinance, correct?
Right. Well, I don't think you even have to do that by
Okay.
ordinance. The ordinance is for consequences of
Okay.
failing to obey a subpoena.
Okay,
The subpoena itself is, I mean, you'd have to, pick the font, pick the language, pick the size of the type. I mean, it's interesting. Rather than set off down that brand new path, my understanding is council has decided, let's not do that. That's fraught with more problems than we would like to encounter. There is an existing procedure under state law. It's called a suit to investigate a claim. It's not an accusation that someone has in fact done anything wrong. In fact, it serves the opposite purpose, where the nature of the existence of wrongdoing is unknown. State law gives a party the ability to file a suit for the very purpose of investigating whether something wrong occurred. And typically what that's done, it's called the suit to investigate a claim. And what it does chiefly is it gets you subpoena power. And my point with that is, there is a well-known body of law, well-established principles about state subpoenas and how they're formed and how they get served and what their scope is and how you respond to them and how you enforce them. And so my point is, instead of trying to create from whole cloth an entire new system that the state of Texas already developed over the last 140 years, council has just said, no, let's just access the existing system. We'll go to the county courthouse for that.
okay. All right.
Jim, if I understand you correctly, and I'm gonna go refer to my incident where I was asked to come and give a statement to an investigator. And once I said I have an attorney, the investigator didn't want to talk to me with my attorney present. So there was no need for me to even be there. And if you're going to look into criminal matters, and I have brought this up several times before, you have to allow for due process. Due process says if you're going to look at somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, please. I'm going back by a few years back when I was a police officer in my law enforcement career. Due process says you have to be able to prove and have a case that says, I need to take this to the DA's office after our investigation has been done. This is where we have our subpoena power. You come in and you give us a statement. If you don't, then you go give it to the DA's office. If it's a criminal matter, okay? If we're looking at a criminal matter here and your investigator already came back and said he doesn't have anything to provide you guys with, then the next step is to go with if you're looking at criminal issues, then you need to go and go on through with the investigation, filing this complaint with the sheriff's department, and let them subpoena her if that's what you're looking at. If you guys are looking at criminal issues here, if it's civil issues, then that's your expertise. But I don't understand the logic. If I'm understanding this correctly, if the investigator has come up and said, I don't have anything to
Mr. Cox,
give you
your
guys.
time is up.
If I don't have anything to give you guys, then why are we gonna hire another investigator to do the same work that investigator
Mr.
was gonna
Cox,
do?
Mr. Cox,
your
your
time
time
has,
is up.
Oh, okay.
has expired.
All right, I got my point across though, thank you.
And just for clarification, it would not be wise for this body to comment on an ongoing investigation relative to what products have been produced, and so at this point, this is just a continuation of that process. Okay. So if there are no other,
Rene Rodriguez,
Aye.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Ralph Duran,
I think we've spent too much. No.
and Iván Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, vote for it with your feet.
Aye.
René Rodríguez, Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Ralph Duran.
Yes.
Iván Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned at 8:11 p.m.